All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the aftermath of the Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. fight. The fight did not turn out the way that I wanted to turn out because I definitely wanted Devin Haney to win. I wanted Brian Norman Jr. to win, but I'm not surprised at all that Devin Haney won that fight because Devin Haney, despite the things that pour out of his mouth and pour out of his father's mouth, is actually a very, very, very good fighter. I do not think he's a Hall of Fame level fighter. I do believe that they're carefully matchmake this guy, but in this particular matchmade, he did what he was supposed to do against Brian Norman, and now he is a 3-division champion. However, you know what the deal is. Can't be happy for a second in boxing for the guy that wins if you're supporting him. You gotta jump on your soapbox and act like you won the fight yourself, or act like that this fight is some huge accomplishment in the world. And that is what Terence Bud Crawford did as he responded to Devin Haney. I'm 99% sure that Terence Crawford responded to my response on a ghost account, but let's get into that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where Devin the Dream Haney became the WBO world champion by beating Brian Norman Jr. in what I would consider, I watched the highlights now. I did not watch the entire fight. I watched the highlights of it because, again, I'm telling you, I'm not giving Turkey Al-Sheikh any of my money, and I'm not the type of person that steals boxing matches. So I'm not going to go get a fire stick and cheat the fighters out of money if I don't want to pay for the fight by watching a fight in full that I did not pay for. That is just where my heart stands, so I have to tell you that ahead of time. The fight is now available for free on DAZN, which I pay for anyway, so I will be watching the fights in their entirety. However, I did see the highlights, and let me tell you, man, first of all, congratulations to Devin Haney. Man, I think you found your weight class because I was very shocked to see that Devin Haney looked bigger than Brian Norman Jr. in that ring. That should not surprise anybody, though, because that's the science of boxing these days. You have Terence Crawford move up to fight Canelo Alvarez, and you think it's a big size disadvantage, but then when you actually look at the fight, you're like, hold on, man, these guys are the same size. Bud just put on 25 pounds of muscle in the last couple of years to fill out his frame, right? So Devin Haney was also obviously training himself down terribly bad to avoid fighters like Jaron Ennis when he was in the weight class, to avoid guys like that and stay in 140 and stay at 135 till the coast is clear, in my personal opinion. Well, this was the perfect opportunity to go to 147 because essentially the coast is clear. And he won the fight with Brian Norman Jr. and dropped Brian Norman Jr. With a nice, sweet combination. The fight wound up going the rest 12 rounds. Good win for Devin Haney. Now, of course, I wanted Brian Norman to win. I really did. And the reason that I wanted Brian Norman to win is because I root for kids from the South. I root for the city of Atlanta. And I'm telling you, I'm sick to death of hearing Bill Haney's mouth. Like, it would be so much easier to be a supporter and a fan of Devin Haney if Bill Haney and all of these Haney bots and Haney propagandists weren't making it nearly impossible to like the kid. That said, Terence Crawford was one of them. Terence Crawford comes out with this tweet and says, all that stuff y'all were talking about Devin Haney, see, now he proved you wrong. What you gonna say? Stay on that side. All of that. All right, let me tell you, bud. First of all, Brian Norman Jr. is not Muhammad Ali. He is not George Foreman. He's not Joe Frazier. He's not Mike Tyson, okay? No, he is not. George, as much as I like Brian Norman Jr. and I like Brian Norman Sr., he was a relatively unproven title holder at 140 pounds. He was a big guy, a strong fighter, knockout puncher, and was a good contest for Devin Haney. But let's not act like people were like that anybody thought that, well, I won't say that. I do believe that there were people that didn't think Devin Haney had a chin. However, Nobody needs to apologize. Let me get to the chase of this. Nobody has to apologize for picking Brian Norman to win that fight. People can reasonably look at Devin Haney and decide one of two things. Either they honestly don't think the man can win, or they just don't want him to win, and that's part of the sport, bro. But it just kills me every single solitary fight, man, that Devin Haney wins, or Terence Crawford wins, or Clarissa Shields wins. These guys that I like to call the Bud Buddies is always jumping up and down on a soapbox, bragging about how you are right and how everybody else is wrong, and you guys are terrible, and I'm the greatest, and all of that garbage, right? It just kind of gets old, man. Let's just be real, bro. Devin Haney, I don't even know what the odds in that particular fight were, but the odds, I would have put them in favor of Devin Haney because of the politics of the situation. And as long as Devin Haney stayed out of the way of getting knocked out, I thought he should have been able to win the fight. But again, I did not want him to win the fight. I wanted Brian Norman Jr. to win the fight so that I could get more fights out of Brian Norman Jr. and Brian won't get just thrown under the woodwork. You know there's not going to be a rematch with Devin Haney, but we see how 147 pound is starting to come around, and I think that overall it's a good thing because you have Mario Barrios is about to fight. Who do they say? Mario Barrios, I think, is going to be fighting Ryan Garcia. You have Rolly Romero there. You have Devin Haney as a champion, and I think that is it. I can't recall who the IBF champion is, but that's about all that there is at 147 pounds. So somebody, as long as they play the politics right, should be able to get undisputed out of that particular division. I hope that Ryan Garcia, truly hope that Ryan Garcia can beat Mario Barrios and gives us a chance to get the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia rematch because I think that was a very, very good fight. I truly enjoyed the fight, and I would love to see those guys run that stuff back, man. But, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. The American boxing is kind of mixed up right now. As far as the particular fighters that I like to see and I like to watch, not the most exciting time, man. I can't lie to you, man. I tried to get behind Devin Haney some years ago, have been unable to do so, man. It's just not a very exciting fighter. And honestly, man, the drama that their team brings and the drama that his father brings to the boxing world, I mean, what good things Devin brings to it, man, are just counterbalanced by all of the noise and all of the fake aggression, all of the internet botting and manipulative marketing practices. Just old as can be, man. Just old, and I'm getting tired of it, man. But we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully, we'll get to see these fights at 147 pounds. I think that we should be able to, because one of the side benefits of Turki Al-Sheikh, and I don't think that there's a lot of them, but one of them is that these fighters are being a lot more fluid about the networks that they're fighting on. You saw a PBC fighter headline the card in David Benavidez against Anthony Yard, and my God, David Benavidez is such a monster, bro. Definitely one of my favorite fighters, man. Called that one to the head, man. I thought maybe he'd stop him around 9, but he got to Anthony Yard around 7, beat him so bad, man. Just a vicious, 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 vicious fight, man. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.